Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli back with another review video, and that's right, reviewing the latest Pixar film that came out this year. And yes, I'm not doing this alone. I mean, here's the thing. At first, I thought I was going to do this just by myself, but he asked me this. He jumped to the chance. He asked me to if he would want to join, and I was like, why not? No problem. And of course, joining me reviewing Turning Red is, of course, the Amazing Gamer. Good to have you for, joining me reviewing this.
It's good to be here for this one. This is a very special new kind of Disney movie that I really did want to talk about in a full-on review. So I've got a lot to say, mostly, massively positive as well. So I'm really excited for this.
Right. And you know what? You go first by all means.
All right. So, back in November of 2021, the internet, and myself included, was quick to criticize this film because I don't know I think it was just the trailer to me and the way they marketed the film. It felt a little clunky, kinda, and I didn't really understand what story they were trying to tell was. The animation looked neat, but it just felt like as soon as I saw these four teenage girls going crazy over this boy band thing, and then suddenly we see just flashing colors and the main girl turns into a red panda and it's some sort of curse on the family. It's it feels a little thin.
Yeah.
And her friends are there to support her throughout everything, and there wasn't much story laid out in the trailer. That's basically the main plot, but it's the way they execute it in the movie that's really fun, and it's they really go into in-depth history of the panda, and that if it's used too much, then it will take over, I guess, kind of the human form, and you'll permanently stay as this furious panda. Kind of like how it reminds me of Brave, when Merida's mother was turned into a bear, and as time went on, she became more and more like a real bear.
Yeah,
so it was a case of controlling the panda, and I like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's true, yeah. The only way, controlling the panda, she would, calm down and be at peace, Yeah. Well, okay, I'll go ahead and go next. What I first have to say about Turning Red. I really didn't know what to make up with it at first. I know that it was announced, I think especially when, that, special, satellite announcement or whatever that was, back in November of 2020, and they were announcing, everything that was coming out, and on the subject of Pixar, I believe, Turning Red was one of those, and Lightyear, and I really didn't have that much to say about Turning Red. I mean, I heard about it, and I was like, okay, just wait and see what this is like, but I do know that this was being directed by the same woman who directed that Pixar short that was Bayo, that was released with The Incredibles 2, which that was a pretty good one. And now she was moving to direct a full-time, animated feature film. And here's another thing. As we all know, originally this was going to be in theaters, but out of nowhere, and yeah, I was disappointed in this too, they moved it straight to Disney Plus, and you know what? People at Pixar were disappointed about this. Do you have anything to say on this, Amazing Gamer, that at first it was going to be in theaters, but as of now, it was moved to Disney Plus?
I do. I sincerely think that this, pushing all the animated films that Pixar's really putting their all into, and Disney's just no, we don't want that. Don't throw that in theaters, but we'll be happy to throw Encanto in there twice. And it's what about... Because these are genuinely interesting stories, and this isn't the first time this has happened either. I think Luca went through a similar situation, and that movie was pure gold as well.
Luca,
I feel
Luca and Soul, both of them.
Luca and Soul. Probably Soul is definitely one of my favorite movies of all time now.
Yeah.
Because you jump into these movies, and you have no idea what the narrative is, going into everything blind, like I did with... 3 of Luca, Turning Red, and Soul, and they're instantly becoming my favorite movies to watch on Disney Plus now. And it's
Yes.
such a loss because they would have made so much money at like the box office, and Disney's turning down these opportunities 3 times. And I'm like, come on, give these smaller looking movies a chance, because all three, I think, did have some criticism when they were first announced and ended up being, for the most part, complete bangers. And I really loved all three of them. This one,
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah. And as we all know, like, the last Pixar film that came out in theaters, of course, was Onward. And I, of course, thought that was pretty good, too. What'd you think of Onward? Just quick thoughts on that.
I loved Onward so much. I really liked Tom Holland and Chris Pratt in that movie, and the story as well. It's the fantasy feeling that these newer movies are doing, that Pixar are doing. They're not just sequels of existing franchises anymore.
Yeah.
They're really making original stories. And that's what Disney's relying on. They're relying on comfort and stuff we already know, like sequels, stories we've seen before, and we're seeing more of them.
Yeah.
'Cause I think Disney means new equals danger to profit.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. It's very much the opposite.
Yeah. Honestly, like, just to quickly, I mean, I don't really mean to go off, talk about Turning Red, but just very quickly on what I have to say about sequels. Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes it wouldn't be necessary for a movie to have a sequel, but sometimes, you know what? The sequel would be worth it. Like, for a good example, like, when you look at Pixar sequels, you know what? They managed to really succeed on making them so good. Like, ever since Toy Story 2, as long as you could make, if you're gonna make a sequel, make it a good one. And you know what? Pixar did that, definitely. Their sequels the sequels that Pixar were making were not that bad, but I guess as of now, like, if they seem to, like, taking I don't know if it's an official, like, end for them making sequels or not. I mean, it wouldn't hurt if they would at least make another sequel very later, but you're right, because making, fresh and new stories, yeah. But, and you know what? Looking at the Disney Directive DVD sequels, I don't know, like, there were some that were good, but, But, again, like, it is nice to see that Pixar, that as of now, that they are making new movies, and, and the last time, since 2019, Toy Story 4 was the last sequel they made to one of their films, and from there on, they're just making, fresh, new animated features, so...
Yeah, and I do think that's down to the response that Toy Story 4 got, because I did like Toy Story 4. There were a few problems with it.
Yeah.
But I think with the internet's response, unlike Disney, I think Pixar did listen to that and be like, okay, we're going to do our own thing from here on out. We're going to learn from our lessons. Luca, Turning Red, Soul, they're their own beasts, baby. Hope you're ready.
Yeah.
And they were successes.
Yes. And I really hope, just very quickly, I really hope as though they don't do this again. Lightyear needs to come out in theaters. It belongs on the big... This upcoming Pixar film belongs on the big screen.
Yeah, and the way they're advertising it is like this big, like,
Yes.
the orchestral music and everything, the stylized designs and
Yes.
the space atmosphere. It feels like a cinematic
I
film.
couldn't agree more. That's exactly... I think that's what the goal is for this film.
I mean, even the name Lightyear just feels so bombastic and grand.
Uh-huh. Yes, exactly. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I mean, it won't be too long until Lightyear comes out, They better not, have it go straight to Disney+. It needs to come back to theaters. Pixar needs to come back to theaters, that is, after Onward and, the last 3 films they did, which were masterpieces, yeah. But anyways, continuing on with Turning Red, because I'm trying to remember, like, oh gosh, yeah, like, one thing is, like, that sequence where, what was the girl, what was the girl's name again? I forget, the main character.
The main character is May, and her 3 friends are Miriam, Priya, and Abby.
Right. Well, you know, her mother, of course, Ming, like, she totally embarrasses her because she notices, like, the drawings that she's done, and they go to that gas station. You know that sequence.
Yeah.
And especially because when... And some funny moments, too, in this movie, for sure. And, of course, emotional stuff. Like, is there any of those we want to talk about?
There is a scene, like, just before the climax in the movie where May does lose control of the panda against the bully, and that was like a really... I was on the edge of my seat during that scene. I was like, oh my god, is she about to pull like an old-fashioned Disney, like, death scene here out of anger? I was so worried about the kid. Like, sure, he was nasty. Tyler is his name. She was nasty up until that point, but I was like, is she gonna go mad on him in her panda form? I was worried for a second.
Yeah, that's right. Another thing is, because we find out, of course, you know, and she finds out that, you know, it's been part of the family for generations, and, you know what, even, like, say, trying to remember, because even the mother, Sandra Oh voices Ming Lee, and, she becomes a red panda as well, and God, she is humongous, and in the climax, you know, at that concert.
Yeah, and the backstory from her dad being that big because she was angry at her mother for not letting her be with May's dad. Over that, getting that massive and that angry, that is pure fury.
Okay. We also find out that that bully that was picking on her, actually, he's one of the members of this boy band.
Yeah, that was a nice joke that paid off as well, because, like, it was out of nowhere, too. They didn't even have to include it. It was just there for a joke, and it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, it was. And even when, say, she just comes out to her mother, you know, I like boys, and, you know, etc. And, I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah, because, it was nice for at one point when her friends do find out that, you know, she turns into a red panda. And, oh my gosh, because now I'm thinking of this, because I didn't even hear his voice. Like, did you hear John Ratzenberger's, like, voice in the film at any point?
I don't remember hearing his voice, no.
Neither do I. I mean... Because he's Pixar's Lucky Charm, and every Pixar film he's in, like, he's, you know, had a cameo voice. I don't know. I'll have to look that up, you know, because, I mean, here's another thing. At first, people, including myself, and if you too, that people thought that he didn't have a voice in not Turning Red, Soul, but Pete Docter did confirm that he did, so... I don't know, like, probably very similar with Turning Red.
I'll definitely have to give Soul a second watch and keep an ear out for that.
Yeah, because I've only watched it. I've watched it... How many times did you watch it?
Only twice. Like, one with a movie night and the other just for research purposes just to spot some sort of Easter eggs and stuff.
Same, yeah. I watched it myself the first time, then I watched it a second time with my mom. So yeah, we definitely gotta watch it a couple more times, and to see what we missed, and especially one of them being John Ratzenberger. And for one thing, you know what? May, is that her name?
Yeah, May.
Yeah, May does keep, you know, the red panda inside of her, because, you know, it's the ceremony of, like, getting it out of her. But no, she keeps it.
Yeah, and when she has just the ears and the tail, it looks like a cosplayer, and I think that was for all the cosplayers at conventions and stuff. Like, she looks like a cosplayer, huh?
Like, maybe that could be a nod, you know.
Definitely. I feel like, how many people at the next, like, I don't know, convention at Disney or whatever are going to be dressed up as May with the ears and
that's kind of what I was about to say. After this movie, I bet you there's going to be cosplayers that are going to get that idea.
That'd be brilliant. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, me too. But anyways, oh gosh, there was something else about May. Oh yeah, because I do like this. When she does turn into the Red Panda for the first time, that's where her hair color does change. It was like kind of brownish, but then when she turned into the Red Panda, it was the same color as the Red Panda fur.
Yeah, and what's brilliant is that I didn't know that until my second viewing. It's like it's such a small detail that you don't even notice the first time. Because
Oh.
like in the movie's intro, her hair is black, and then all of a sudden, when she turns normal after her panda is exposed, her hair is more of a orangey ginger color. And I'm like, that's awesome! I didn't even notice that.
Hmm. Well, I think, yeah, the first time I watched it, I clearly noticed it, so... Besides, it's her hair, so... And, oh, another scene, like, May, like, is passing this test or whatever to resist, like, transforming, and, you know, basically, like, her getting to react, etc., and... the last one they do is, I mean, it was coming to me. It was coming to me when they did this. A box full of kittens.
A box full of kittens, yeah, and they were just when I saw those kittens like leaping on her with those big Puss in Boots looking eyes, I'm like, oh my god, how can you resist such a thing?
But she managed to do so. She managed to resist.
What followed that scene as well was like, now that I've done this, it's just one little thing, and she has to go to the boy band, and her parents just say no right off the bat. You're like, what do you mean no?
Yeah, exactly. After all that. But anyways, oh yeah, because even and because yeah, because this has been in her family for generations, and the one in the picture, like it's supposed to be like her great great grandmother or something.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because May does get to see her and interact with her at one point, you know, of course. Um, but it has a nice ending to it, and everything is all great, and both May and her mother, of course, are the relationship a lot better, and of course, May still has the transformation, the power of the red panda, and yeah. But is there anything else you wanted to say about Turning Red? Because getting close to wrapping things up.
Yeah, I did really enjoy most out of the entire movie, the friendship that May and her friends shared together. Because May is like the go get 'em kind of character who's always successful, but still has she's still easily manipulated by her friend Miriam, who isn't she's not a bad person, but she does have the sort of oh, we can do this and get away with it kind of feeling. Pyra is very much a goth character, and I feel like a lot of viewers really liked her because she always spoke monotone, and I was like, yeah, I've always wanted a tail. I just love that. The delivery of those lines was just brilliant. Abby is a super enthusiastic, jumping all over the place, wacky kind of character, and I love that too. Even Tyler, I think it's the way they're animated as well. Like the bean mouths, I don't dislike the bean mouths. I think they're actually really good. It's a new style of animation we haven't seen at least for a really long time.
Oh yeah,
and it's kind of unique to Pixar in this new form, and I hope they continue to experiment with this kind of animation because it looks really great, and I like the poofing effect of the hand turning into a fluffy panda. It's all great.
It is, yeah. But yeah, and for me, because Turning Red, because, you know, Pixar, they did it. They did it once again, and I'm sure as though they're going to continue to do it again, and especially since, again, we are soon going to get Lightyear, and yeah, we all know, because I think we probably all know by now, because that's going to be great. And how do we rate Turning Red? Starting with you.
I'd rate it at a 4 out of 5 stars. I think because there were a few scenes that kind of made me cringe a little bit, like the guy at the store seeing May's drawings of him as a mermaid, and I'm like, the cringe. Those little scenes, and stuff like May not defending her friends in front of her mother near the end of the film. Like, no, just say something. Come on, please.
Yeah.
It's like, how long has she been friends with these girls? And these are the only main friends she actually has. And she just ditch them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't think I even cringed at those scenes, but yeah. But yeah, it's true. For me, I'll I'll just give it a 9 out of 10. That's good for me. 9 out of 10 stars. But this was a lot of fun reviewing Turning Red, and, you know, it is a shame that, again, as we were saying earlier, that this didn't come out on Disney Plus. Well, I mean, in theaters. But, you know, for it coming out on Disney Plus, like, okay, I mean, we all still got to watch it, you know, but please, Disney, for all time's sake, just don't keep doing this to Pixar films. Especially don't do this with Lightyear. That's my message to you. I'm sure that's all of us, you know, we ask the same thing. Let's really hope, because again, we won't be very long until Lightyear comes out, so let's fingers crossed, definitely, that Lightyear is still gonna hit in theaters, and as it should rightfully so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like I don't know what it is with Disney and this whole kick of fearing originality, but it's not a bad thing as well. And
No.
I think they were afraid of the darker undertones, like the puberty undertone of the movie. But like this is Disney. You guys are Disney. When were you afraid to get like dark-ish with your audience? You literally killed off Ellie at the beginning of Up. This is not something that's new to you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I could go on, but yeah. But anyways, with all that being said, you know, thanks, Amazing Gamer, for joining me reviewing Turning Red.
No problem.
Yes.
It's fun being here.
Yep, and very soon he'll be back. You know, me and him will be reviewing another animated feature later this month. So stay tuned for that. So, with all that being said, we hope you guys enjoyed our review of Turning Red. More reviews coming your way. They're gonna be awesome. Keep looking forward, and we'll see you guys in the next video/review. Take care, and peace out.